I think my job is that I'm supposed to tell you that doing a PhD is really easy. If you get an interview and you get into a PhD program, if you actually do the work, everything is supposed to come together. But I'm going to tell you that most of that stuff is absolutely not true. It's going to be hard. People are going to discount you. Nothing is going to work out in the way that you thought it's going to work out. And most of you are going to be watching this and saying, I can't do it. On the other side, I look at most of the stuff where people talk about their life on YouTube videos, and it is the most detached reality I've ever seen. That everything is negative, that the process ends up sucking the life out of you, and that you have no life in the process. All of these stories that you hear are not true. They are telling you lies and misinformation to get you to think in a certain way. And I know that sounds really negative, but I have this view that anybody can actually do the work. They can actually get out there and put the effort in and have the motivation to accomplish things, but they have to understand what the reality is. This is the reason why nobody ends up having savings by the time that they're 65 years old. They have, on average, at least in America, somewhere around like $100,000 that's saved to their name. It's because they come into it thinking that all of this is going to be easy and is going to be sorted out for them. And on the other side, they think once they've done it for a while that they can't possibly do it. And they're going to be swamped, or that they are not the right person for this. We have all of these behavioral biases that exist in our mind and our body that makes us do things in a certain way. And we really, really struggle with this. I want to talk about what it means for you to actually accomplish something that is difficult in your life. So I'm Professor David Maslach, and I often talk about things related to research because that's what I know. But I think this is in general, most of us go through these experiences where we try to do something that is reasonably difficult. Doing a PhD, doing any degree is reasonably difficult. And we look at it at the beginning, we're all really excited and we get into it and we realize we can't do it and we give up. And most of us, if you were to actually look at the number of people that stay with doing research once they actually do it, whether they actually did it in a master's program or an undergrad program, you realize that most people actually don't stay with it for a long time. It's hard, it's boring, and your butt gets sore because you sit so much as you read things. So, what is that? What's the problem here? It's because we all struggle with these normal day-to-day things. I don't think anybody loves doing the career. People tell you this, but they're marketing to you. I want you to understand that. They are marketing to you, either they're marketing to you because that they're trying to tell a story of how heroic that they actually are, that they can do this and it all works great for them. And it makes me feel terrible. I remember back in high school where people would do this, or my early undergrad days where people would do this, where there's somebody who would say, oh, that exam was really easy. I'm like, what the hell? I studied my butt off for this thing, and it was a miserable experience for me. And you're telling me that it was easy and it was all put together. I'm going to call BS. On the other side, we have the people that paint this very negative picture because they tried to do it and it didn't work out for them. I want you to get to a picture that's a little bit different. And I think that this will help you out in terms of, changing who you are. Lots of people talk about things like finding your why. I love Simon Sinek. I think he does a great job. But I also think that there is a lot of practicality that's involved that is often missed. Right? It's not just about lofty things all the time, but it's about getting up and actually doing things and accomplishing things every single day. It's about doing things where you simply get in the groove and that becomes your pattern where you actually do this. And then it's also about pushing away the world when they start criticizing you for not being productive enough, for not doing the things that you're supposed to do. I've been doing this for a long time now. I've been doing the whole research game probably for at least 20 years. I started my undergrad. And all of this is about doing step by step by step process. And every time that you do it, it doesn't work out as planned. It's messy. People complain about it. They look at you and they say, why aren't you doing better? And in those moments, that's where you say, you know what, you do it. And when they actually do it, you realize that they can't do it either. They're no better off. They just think it looks so easy from the outside until they actually do it and they get through and they go through the experience of actually doing it. So, for those of you who are struggling with it, realize that you're totally normal. That is the process. That's what it means. It means getting up and trying to get a couple of hours worth of doing the work and struggling with it. For those of you who think that this is going to be easy, good luck. The stories that are painted are not the stories that are often what we experience. And anybody that's been doing it long enough will realize and tell you that they have lost themselves many times, that they often are miserable inside, that it doesn't feel as good and sort of wonderful as the picture paints. And often we make really bad decisions where we screw up and we either prioritize one thing, we prioritize our work often too much at the detriment of actually spending time with family and friends that are going to build us up so that we can accomplish the things that we are going to do. I look at, one of the things that I think about is really interesting and fascinating is I look at artists and musicians and actors and look at the ones that actually have a long career, the ones that survive a long time compared to the ones that you see and you're like, oh, what happened to that person? Often what happens is that they get sucked into doing it too much and then you go really into it, or maybe they get infatuated with the career and they realize, or infatuated with the lifestyle, and then they realize that, hey, this is not sustainable. They get into drugs and drinking and all of that stuff that is very seductive. But instead, if you look at the people that do this a long time in any particular career, they do a very balanced approach, not in a negative way. And I know that in the academic career, if you say balanced, it's a dirty word. But what it means is that you allocate some time to doing your craft and doing your profession. You allocate some time to self-care and doing things that you love. And you allocate time to family and friends. And you try to do this. And it's not a balance. You're struggling the whole time. You feel lost the whole time, but you do your best. And I want you to look at just the simple fact of me doing these YouTube videos, because this demonstrates what it means. All of the things that you see and you hear about the biases that we experience are true. People discount it. Look at the number of videos I've had to do and put out before people have actually started watching and paying attention and thinking about what I actually do. And even today, even though I have spent well over $100,000 at this moment on building the platform that I am building to help out researchers, it is still working in progress. It's still hard for me to get people to join and go on to it, because not only am I building a software platform, which is difficult, when you talk to anybody that's actually done it and is real to you, they will tell you that they've built many things and they didn't work out, even the ones that are very talented. On the other side, I am fighting a profession, a career that's got very strong norms, that people discount me because I'm trying to do something that's innovative and doesn't follow what everybody views is appropriate. I'm constantly fighting this all of the time. This is considered a waste of my time by anybody in the profession that is real, that understands what is going on. Now, if this becomes successful and this turns into something that is wonderful, everybody will say, well, he did the right thing. But the truth is, when you're actually doing it and you're going through it, it does not feel that way. It feels like you're doing something dirty. It feels like you are doing something that is wrong. And it takes me a god-awful amount of time to actually do this. And even still, I do not have the resources to do all of this properly. Now, apply this to your own career and what you're actually doing. This is the same story that you are going to experience. You're not going to have enough resources. You're not going to have enough time. And everybody's going to tell you that it should go easier. And everybody is going to tell you what you're doing is wrong and problematic, and you should do it this way. So what I want you to get in the habit of is listening to what other people are saying, but don't internalizing it. Don't internalize it. When you experience multiple failures along the way, which is going to happen, don't internalize it. Get back up and do it again. It hurts. Nothing about it is fun, but you get back up and you do it again, and it becomes your pattern. Getting up and doing it again and repeating no matter what happens is the way that you accomplish anything in your life. And every moment, you're not going to have enough resources. People are going to try to cheat you. They are going to do all of these things that you think will never happen to you, but it will. All of those things will happen to you. If you think, if I understood a better way, don't you think I would have done it by now? I want you to internalize that. So if I am struggling with it, and perhaps everybody else is doing things, then why should it be any easier for you? The only thing that you could do is keep going, taking those steps, and moving forward until you actually accomplish the thing that you want to do. So the picture that is presented to you, it's neither rosy like everybody says in the marketing material and all of that kind of stuff, but it's not that miserable in the sense that it's constantly being presented to you. It's life. And if you can get back up and you can do it again and repeat it, regardless of what the world tells you, and you create that middle finger, you give the world the middle finger and you get back up and you do it again, good things are going to happen. And that's it. And even to this day, even though that I have done all of these videos, there's still plenty of people that don't know who I am, that think that they could do it better and all these kind of wonderful things. And I say, good on you. God bless you and have a wonderful day. Take care and have a wonderful day.